Hello, I've got a question about mouldy bread. Now, is it okay to pick that mould off and eat the bread?
I don't think so. I don't know. I would advise not to consume it though if it's got mould on it.
You wouldn't?
I'm dead fussy on my bread.
Oh, yeah.
But my kid sister,
Yeah.
she does the same as you.
Just cut it off?
Yeah, cut it off and toast it.
Is that the same mould that you'll find in Stilton or Roquefort?
There's a mould, obviously.
Yeah.
What type of mould, I couldn't tell you.
Same thing goes with cheese.
Yeah.
As well, you know, a bit of cheddar, you got a bit of mould on it, cut it off.
Opinions are divided over whether or not it's safe to eat mouldy bread. So how come we're happy to eat blue cheese? That's got mould in it, hasn't it? Roquefort, one of the world's best-known blue cheese towns. Local guide Frederick eats it regularly.
This whole area of this town of Roquefort, there's a whole industry built on mould in cheese.
Yeah.
Which is safe to eat.
Apparently. We haven't died yet.
Here we are. Capital of mouldy cheese.
Yes. Madame Delphine. Bonjour, Frédéric.
Local producer Delphine is showing me around her family cheese factory. It's based around a very particular type of mould grown in her downstairs cellar.
Beautiful little cave down here, right in the basement. Traditional wooden slats.
But how come we're looking at bread? I thought I was here to see cheese.
So first, she makes a small little chimney.
Right.
Le pain est mou. Voilà.
Take a little spoonful of the mould.
Vous mettez dans le pain et vous rebouchez.
And then that's it. And you let that mould feed on the bread and then harvest the mould from the bread.
Vous mettez le thermomètre dedans.
During the 3 weeks that the mould is inside the bread, the temperature rises, and that's a sign that the mould is actually fermenting.
Yeah.
Once the temperature has stagnated, the bread inside doesn't exist anymore. It's all mould, and it becomes their particular mould for their particular cheese.
What's really interesting is that you're creating the mould on the bread, and if I found the bread at home in my bread bin with the mould in, I'd probably go, oh, I'm going to throw it away. But I found the same sort of mould in cheese, and I think, I can't resist it, I'm going to eat the whole lot. Can I taste some?
Est-ce qu'il peut en goûter?
Oui, il n'y a pas...
Yeah, I'd much prefer to eat the cheese. Let's get the silly Englishman down in the cave and make him eat mould. So what I would really love to know is how you actually get that mould in the cheese.
This stage of the process involves a huge salt shaker packed full of mould, which is scattered over the curds.
So in a way, it's almost like they're planting seeds, the very beginnings of the blue mould.
The curds are left to ripen for up to 10 months. Then, voila, they emerge as perfect rounds of Roquefort cheese.
Wow, look at that. So the lovely marbling, that's all mould. That is totally safe to eat.
Ah oui, c'est
Yeah,
excellent pour la santé.
The blue cheese is actually excellent for your health.
And what would your cheese be without mould?
No cheese.
Que serait votre fromage
Pas de
sans le
fromage.
No cheese. But why is this mould safe to eat where other moulds may not be?
It seems that question had never even crossed their minds. Perhaps I'll find the answer in Edinburgh. I've come along with a slice of mouldy bread.
Ah, Dr. Hickey.
Hi, good to meet you.
How are you?
Dr. Patrick Hickey's a fungal cell biologist, or a mouldy bread expert to you and me.
I've got my bread here.
Yeah, so on one of these pieces here on this crust, it's a kind of green mould, and that probably is penicillin, which is closely related to the penicillin that grows on Roquefort cheese. And it's a pretty good fungus, actually. It produces an antibiotic, which stops us getting bacterial infections.
Is it safe to eat?
Well, the thing is, until you have identified a mould, you can't necessarily say it's safe to eat. There are some moulds that look very similar to penicillin, which can be deadly.
Right.
These mould colonies are at a stage where we can't identify them, so we can't say whether they're good or bad. There's just a very few little white colonies, and we don't know what those are. So I suggest we leave them for another 10 days and come back and have a look at them.
I won't shake your hand, it's all mouldy.
Later, we'll check on the progress of the mould colonies. And now, which bit of the chicken goes in the Kiev?
I'm just calling up because I just wondered actually what the meat is.
That would be one chicken then, so If it's 1 Kiev, then that's 1 chicken breast.
Oh, gotcha.
Doesn't really look like a chicken breast. It's all kind of mushed up. It's like mince.
Like a mince.
Yeah.
Is it 1 chicken that makes the 2 chicken Kievs?
Absolutely no idea and no way of finding that out.
See, I thought a chicken Kiev was made from a single chicken breast.
It could be one whole one, or it could be 2.
One last question for you. Do you know where Kievs come from? We've landed in the land of the chicken Kiev, and coincidentally, it turns out to be National Chicken Day. National Chicken Day. I'm not sure what happens on National Chicken Day, but I'm glad we're here for it.
Kate's on her way to the Mironivsky meat processing plant, responsible for half the industrially produced chicken in the Ukraine.
Hi, my name's Kate.
My name is Anastasia. Nice to meet you.
Today you're going to show us your chickens.
Yes.
And more importantly, your chicken Kievs.
Yes. We have trousers, jackets.
You look great.
Me too.
We could possibly be in a Bond movie if we were boys. So why do we need all of this, Anastasia?
This is a special procedure. This is a biosecurity measure.
For hygiene?
For hygiene, right.
Oh, I hope the chickens appreciate it.
I hope so.
This company processes nearly 177 million chickens a year.
Here you feel the chickens, definitely. You just smell it.
So the chickens arrive here alive, and then what happens to them?
We slaughter them.
Okay.
Plenty of chickens.
I've never seen anything like it.
There are 44,000 heads.
And is that the amount you'll process in one day?
This is the line capacity per hour.
44,000 an hour, so that's 500,000 chickens in one day.
Yep.
Is this just a means of transporting them? Is this the best way to get them there? Right. Should we follow the line?
Yes, we will.
Once on the conveyor, each chicken is assigned its own unique ID and is tracked through the factory.
I've never ever seen so much meat in my life.
And this is the biggest facility not only in Ukraine, in Europe. All right, first of all, I can show you the quality control.
Oh, see, this is the other side of what we've just seen.
Yes.
There you've got, essentially, each chicken, every single chicken is photographed.
Yes.
And are the rejects automated?
Yes.
So the computer detects whether or not it's a reject?
Yes, I will show you on the line how it works. All right?
Brilliant.
Only the most perfectly formed birds get sold whole. The rest are sent to various cutting stations based on the condition and size of the chicken.
I'm putting my hood up for this.
Wings and legs are removed by machine, but the breasts are taken off by hand.
We have it on a spike. They take off the skin. One person takes off one side, another person takes off another part of a chicken fillet, and at the end we receive the carcass.
What happens to these now?
They will go to the different production, really.
Where?
To the production of sausages, for example, low-cost sausages.
Oh, really?
Everywhere in the world, even in the UK.
What? What do they do in the UK?
They produce low-cost sausages from carcasses.
Really?
Yes, international.
How do they get any meat off a carcass?
They make a mince.
They make a mince from the remains. I mean, there mustn't be much on one of those carcasses.
Yeah, there are some meat, right?
How do they get it off?
I will tell you later.
Kate's now seen the chicken divided into high-end breasts and low-cost offcuts. But which bit will be heading towards the Kiev production line? Kate will find out later. Meanwhile, how fresh are your apples?
I've got some apples here, and I was wondering when they would be picked.
Probably wouldn't have been picked this week because it's Monday, isn't
We
it?
do try and, get them to store from field to store within 24 to 48 hours.
I would say it would be a little bit longer than that.
Oh, OK. I mean, is there...
Not much longer.
To try to get some answers, Matt's come to one of the country's biggest apple growers in Kent. The trees are bare, yet this farm is still supplying supermarkets with apples.
This is Matt. He's going to show you around the store.
Nice to meet you. Thank you very much.
How on earth are they able to sell apples that were picked 6 months ago? Matt wants to learn their secrets.
There's 4 storage rooms here, each of about 100 tonnes of apples.
So they all come in from the fields straight into here?
That's correct, yeah.
And then they're locked up. So what is this process of storing them?
We seal the room up completely, and then inside here, we can then put nitrogen into the store that replaces the oxygen.
So presumably that doesn't open?
That's locked.
But if you stuck your head through it?
If you stuck your head through it, you would not live very long.
Right,
Matter of seconds. We have 21% oxygen.
Yeah.
The apples, if we reduce the amount of oxygen in there, their respiration reduces.
Wow.
It's like putting the apples into a state of suspended animation, like a hedgehog hibernating. It's that sort of thing. It's where...
Wouldn't last long in there, though, would it?
Yeah, no, it wouldn't, no.
Together with the low oxygen environment, the addition of smart fresh powder stops the apples from ripening whilst in storage.
OK, we'll open this room. I've got an oxygen meter here, which is currently showing 20.9.
OK, that's good, right?
That's good.
Do you have to carry one of these when you open these?
We always carry these.
Do you?
Today, after 6 months, these apples are ready to be released from their sleep and sold to the supermarket.
Wouldn't stand too close.
Really?
No.
Before Matt can take a look, the doors need to be left open so he's got enough air to breathe.
Can we go and have a look?
Yeah,
So?
yeah, it's safe to go in now.
Really? Can I try one of these?
Yes, yeah, certainly.
There's nothing you need to wash off of these?
There's nothing, absolutely nothing you need to wash off at all.
I don't think you could tell the difference, really, between one picked off the tree...
No, exactly.
...and one eaten, several months later.
Yeah.
Is that your oxygen meter? Should we get out of it? Go somewhere a bit more oxygen-rich. Better late than never, eh?
If the apples get bruised after leaving storage, they won't make it onto the shelves. So they need gentle handling, or better still, none at all.
What are they doing in there? It's like a massive bobbing apple thing.
It's the easiest way to transfer apples, just float them through.
It's a very gentle process.
Absolutely.
So when it leaves the factory in its bag...
That will be labelled, it'll be given a 10-day shelf life.
Right, although really it was harvested, could be 5 months, 6 months ago, or more.
Or more. But as you saw, the fruit is as good as a day it went into store.
Meaning we can all eat apples all year round.
That's it.
Back now to bread. Mouldy bread.
Hi there. Can we go to Edinburgh University, please?
OK, sir.
My original slice has been mouldering in Edinburgh for 2 weeks. It's time to make a return trip and see what's become of it.
Do you ever get mouldy bread at home?
Yeah, I just cut it off.
And then eat it?
Toast it. Didn't do my granny any harm, mate.
Really?
Back in the day, yeah. Just cut the mould off and went with it.
So we'll talk to some experts about mould and try and get to the bottom of it, really.
Do you know, the expert probably only got the answer from his granny.
Dr. Hickey.
Welcome back, Jimmy.
Good to see you.
Yep, come on in.
Right, now, last time I saw you, I left you with some of my bread, and I wanted to find out what kind of mould was growing on it and if it would be safe to eat. So what have you found out?
Well, there's been a dramatic change in your bread. Would you like to have a look at it?
Let's have a little look, yeah.
You can initially see these 2 or 3 little green spots of penicillium.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of mould that grows on Roquefort cheese, so you probably would have been fine there. But another fungus is coming in on the right, and this is another very common bread mould, and it pretty much takes over the entire thing.
No, look at that. It engulfs everything, including its competition, the penicillin mould.
Yeah. So this is over about the course of about 3 days.
It's a fungus fight.
Exactly. Typically, a loaf of bread will have maybe 10 or more different types of fungus all fighting it out for space. And often you will get a succession. So you might get small spots of mould, and then something that gets in a bit later on will just take over the entire thing, like we're seeing in this movie.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, that looks like something from science fiction, doesn't it?
They may look nasty, but the fungus on these slices isn't going to kill you. But hang on before you take a nibble. Those benign bread moulds can quickly make way for something much more dangerous.
I've got an example here of some bread that's very thoroughly rotten with lots of different types of mould competing on it. Now, you can see the green patches there are our friendly penicillin, but there's some black stuff. Now, that's a fungus called aspergillus, and that's one of the ones that produce these toxins.
So if you see any black mould on your bread?
Black mould's not good. Definitely throw it out, try not to create dust with it. And also that yellow, see there's a sort of yellowy lime green one?
Yeah.
That is in fact Aspergillus flavus, and that's the one that produces a toxin called aflatoxin. Now aflatoxin is probably the most deadly known toxin known to man. Just a little tiny crystal of it would be enough to kill someone.
This family of mould is actually pretty common. If you leave your bread out long enough, one of them could make an appearance.
That's insane to think that just on a humble slice of bread, there could be an array of moulds, some of which could be super deadly to humans.
Yeah, and that's why it's not a good idea to eat bread which you don't know what's growing on it. Safest thing to do would be to chuck it in the bin.
Right, will do. Thanks a lot.
Back now to Kievs.
The beating heart of the chicken Kiev factory is upon us.
Kate's finally going to find out just what part of a chicken goes into a chicken Kiev.
So here we have
chicken fillet, deeply frozen.
This is purely chicken breast. Look at the size of that. That's absolutely huge for a chicken breast, isn't it?
It's not.
It's not?
This is just a normal chicken.
Not all Kievs are made this way, but here it's just chicken breast, pure and simple. But it doesn't look like a breast for long.
There's chicken being spat out of a big pipe. So we've got this chicken raining into what is, I suppose, a giant mincer.
It's a giant mincer, you're right.
It looks quite
soft, I would say, right?
Yeah. So, Anastasia, why make chicken mince out of these lovely, good quality chicken breasts? Because traditionally, a chicken Kiev would be one single chicken breast.
This is how it is produced industrially.
That's a factory chicken Kiev. You've got to mince the chicken.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's technology.
It's all down to technology. What next?
We go to butter production.
Before Kate's question gets answered, she's diverted by a rather unusual feature of the production process.
There is a butter sausage production over there.
Ah.
We buy butter, right? Then we slice the butter.
Look at her go. She's very strong.
Yes, she is.
Very strong. And what is she adding there?
Dill.
Dill. What about the garlic?
No, we never add garlic. According to the traditional recipe, there is no garlic in it.
So there's no garlic in a chicken Kiev?
No.
It's bombshell revelations like this that make us realise how little we know about the butter in our Kievs.
I just wondered, how do you actually get the butter into the chicken Kiev?
And honestly, I wouldn't know.
I'd imagine it would be kind of like a turkey baster that's thin enough to poke through. I'd imagine that's how they do it.
Do you know, when I do it at home, I just cut a slice into the chicken breast. I should imagine they have machinery that would do exactly the same.
I always look for a little hole or something where they poked it in.
It's a mystery, isn't it?
Hopefully Anastasia and her team will be able to answer all.
1, 2, 3. Come on.
Here comes the sausage.
Yeah, it comes here. Yeah.
That is an awfully long sausage.
Today's run of Kiev will require over 300 metres of butter sausage. Once it's formed, it's put straight into the freezer to harden.
We take off the seal, right, and then we will cut it.
So we've seen the chicken, we've seen the butter, now we've just got to see it put together.
Yep.
And because the chicken is minced, it can be shaped into patties and the butter easily added. Then the two pieces are squished together, ensuring the butter is locked in with little chance of leaking. But there might also be another reason that the breasts are minced.
So this is like a butterfly.
So what happens here?
On the smaller part, they put butter, and by the bigger part, they cover. You can try one.
Shall I do this one?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's going quickly, it's going quickly. And so you just grip it and seal it.
Yep.
Have I sealed it? Oh, he's finishing it off for me. Brilliant.
After being sealed, each Kiev piece is battered, breaded, and baked.
Uh-oh. It was probably one of mine, to be honest.
Before being boxed and sent to supermarkets across the European Union.
If we do not have any leakages here, we put it inside.
1,000 chickens have produced 1 ton of chicken breasts. So how many dinners does that make?
And so, how many chicken Kievs would you make out of one breast?
И это получается, у нас если 150 грамм одна котлета, мы получаем 150, значит это 1000.
То лучше сначала посмотреть на масло.
Yeah, we've just had a little bit of a meeting on the factory floor. These guys are big fans of that. And I think we've got a conclusion on how many Kievs you get out of a breast.
It was difficult, but we calculated from one chicken fillet, which is approximately 500 grams, we can receive approximately 6 chicken Kievs.
6 chicken Kievs
Yes.
from one chicken breast,
Yep.
which is a lot of bang for your breast. Yeah.
So that's also why they mince the chicken. It makes chicken breast go a lot further.